Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When you conduct an investigation or when you interview people, you interrogate people, you want to find out the truth. You look for inconsistencies. Obviously when you see inconsistencies, then there's some big question marks and you start digging. So in this case we have the so-called free mass media in the West and not only weasels, many weasels here, tell us that the Russian military and its weapons are rusty, no good, have no potential and all that. Okay, they say that when they face it, but then when they somehow grab some Russian weapons, then that's some fantastic weapons or something. I'm going to give you this example. Remember the MiG-29. MiG-29 is a good fighter jet, and since the Russians used it in Ukraine, these guys here in the West said MiG-29 sucks, like any other Russian fighter jet or any other weapon that the Russians somehow come up with. Anyway, so now the Ukrainians are going to have MiG-29s, and all of a sudden MiG-29s are good. Good weapons, and we care for those MiG-29s a lot. Now Slovakia and other countries, which Poland as well, gave Ukraine some MiG-29s, and they're all happy about it. Yes, those MiG-29s are going to do the job and all that. They do the job. I thought they were rusty pieces of before, and all of a sudden they're good. So this is what it's claimed. It's claimed that Slovakia gave Ukraine some MiGs, and allegedly the MiGs were worked on last year by some Russian technicians for some problems. Now the fleet of the Slovak MiG fleet was really discontinued last year. I think it was out. Said, it's too old, out, no good. And I think out of 11 MiGs or something like that, they had like 3 operational. They got 3 without engine, and the rest needed some repairs. Anyway, they brought some Russian technicians, whatever they did over there. They had some Slovak technicians as well, and they say that those planes don't fly well. They don't. They're like they were sabotaged only in the area where supposedly the Russian technicians worked on. Well, why do you care? Since it's a piece of shit, why do you care? Just go put it in a grinding machine and that's it. Take a poop and that's it. No? All of a sudden it's a big problem. Well, if it's a piece of shit airplane, why do you really care? And besides, they say the Russians are idiots, the Russians are this, the Russians are that. How could they be so smart in doing what they did? If we would have done that to someone else, all those people would be hailed as heroes. Purple Heart and shit. And Iron Crosses and whatever. Eagle, whatever. So here we have it. Because they did it, weasels. If we would have done it, that's quite an achievement, man, in our espionage world. The same. They say now that my hand here was not doing what you think it was doing. Just resting, not on it. Or on them. Anyway, I don't know that I have 2 of them, but you know what I mean. So here we go. Now they cry that the Russians sabotage those things. Now you gotta make up your mind. Are the Russians good at doing this kind of stuff or not? Now, if they sabotage something that is valuable, MiG-29, or is not valuable. You gotta be consistent. Obviously they're valuable, but they can't say that because they want to compete with the Pentagon, who sells more weapons here. So let's look at this little article here. Russia believed to have sabotaged Slovak MiG-29s provided to Ukraine. The new voice of Ukraine. The minister said that while there were parts of the engine Slovak experts could access, there were also parts only accessible to Russian experts. Oh, we have experts? Russian experts? Defects appeared only in the parts where the Russian experts could access, he said. The Slovak army stopped using the planes in August 2022, and they were transferred to Ukraine in March 2023. I think this is a crime. When you throw in the garbage can something and then you change your mind and give it to someone else for use, I think that's embarrassing. You did this because you thought those planes are out of date. They're not good, and you give it to the Ukrainians. You endanger those pilots' lives, obviously. So I think that's a crime. And I'm quoting, they knew how to fly, but that does not mean they were capable of fighting. The Ukrainians came to Slovakia a week before the departure of the planes, brought spare parts and inspected the planes, end quote, NAD said. While Slovak police investigated the sabotage claims, they did not find enough evidence to prove the allegations. Okay, so there should be no story, but it is. The Slovak Ministry of Defense, I'm quoting, felt a loss of trust in Russian technicians in Sliak because mistakes continued to appear in areas that only they could have accessed, end quote, he said. Did you ask the Russians to defend themselves against these accusations? No. Therefore, I don't believe only one side's story. I need at least two sides. The other side, right? The accused. Retired Slovak pilot Lieutenant General Lubomir Svoboda suggested that the Russians deliberately caused damage to the plane. So he suggests, I suggest tomorrow maybe Jesus Christ is going to show up. He told Denik N, he recounted that after the Russians took possession of an engine, it was flown for only 70 hours instead of the expected 350. That happens with my car sometimes, so what should I do with those technicians? Russians too? Slovakia handed over 4 Soviet-made MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine on March 23rd, becoming the first NATO blah 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 blah. Deputy Speaker of the Ukrainian Parliament Olena Kodratyuk announced on March 30th that the aircraft were already guarding the airspace above Kharkiv. So they were working, but they're bad planes, man. Why do you fly them? Remember? The provision of modernized Soviet MiG-29 fighter jets to the country will be a significant aid, but it is unlikely to lead to any significant changes on the front line, said the Ukrainian Armed Forces. So you gotta make up your mind. This is like, it is or is not. Will be a significant aid, but it's unlikely to lead to any significant changes. Okay, then don't take it. They stated that the planes are not equipped with onboard radars and cannot launch modern missiles, emphasizing that Ukraine needs modern Western fighter jets. So that's the whole article was written for this last thing right here. The whole article, the whole thing bullshit here is for that. To have, hey, we need Western jets. Give them the fucking Western jets. What do you think? They're like godlike? Yes, that's how these guys think. Anyway, if that would be the case, Russia would have ceased to exist many years back, since the United States would have sent its invisible stealth bombers. Why didn't they? Because somehow the S-300s, the S-400s, the Sukhois, the MiGs, all these things work. But they can't tell you because they want to make you feel safe. That's your own thing. Oh, we're good, man. Yeah, if we want. Yeah, man. Otherwise, they would have gone over there already. But they didn't. They used the Ukrainians to fight the Russians. That's how. Yeah, man. Go over there and try. Try me. No. Anyway, I'm not, pushing for any violence here, but at least, show some balls. Not now, but you know what I mean. Show some balls. Anyway, my friends, metaphorically, show virility. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Show consistency.